Alrighty, everyone. Well, we are in our final session of the day today, and we just wanted to cover a couple of quick things. You know, the day today was really eventful. We had a lot of great panels. You know, there were a lot of great booths, a lot of great networking sessions. There's a few things that we really wanted to cover with people. And that is, you know, what do you do now? Where do you go? How do you actually move forward along this pipeline for what these programs can actually bring to the table? So, sorry, just had to make sure that the slides were up. So for these programs, you know, some quick takeaways for you here. So what is the value of the SBIR and STTR programs? Well, one of the biggest values is, you know, as Dana said almost at the very beginning of the day today, these are the largest and almost only source of non-dilutive funding for businesses so that they can grow, so that they can succeed, and so that they can do some critical research and development as they try to launch commercial products, as they try to launch products that are going to help them move forward, that are going to grow that innovation ecosystem and that pipeline. And what do we mean by non-dilutive, though? Well, non-dilutive means that you don't give up any part of your business. You know, these are equity-free investments. You don't give up any part of your idea. You don't have to slowly shave off just portions of your business as you try and succeed, try and grow, and just try to make it. And there's a lot of really great hidden benefits that are built into these programs. You know, one of the biggest ones is that it allows you to demonstrate feasibility of your idea. So as you're creating that idea, as you're creating that new product, as you're really kind of pushing the boundaries of what can happen, what can I do, you know, what's interesting about what I'm creating. A lot of times that takes a lot of money, that takes a lot of funding. Research and development is such a large expense for many businesses, and these programs allow you to offset that. You know, they allow you to look at, is this possible? Is this something I can do? Is this something I can succeed at? And they allow you to build a team to actually bring in those people that are going to help you, to bring in those critical facets of how do I grow? How do I succeed? Who do I need to help me take that next step, to help me get to that next level? And one of the biggest things, and, you know, kind of speaking as a institution or a research institution, you know, as a university here, it's a great vehicle for moving technology out of those research institutions. So technology that's just sitting there, that's languishing, it may just be collecting dust on a shelf because there's a disconnect, and it's just an inherent disconnect between invention and innovation. You know, inventions happen all the time. It's what can I do? What can I research? You know, what is cool science-wise? But that misses a key factor, because invention doesn't mean that you can create a product out of it. Doesn't mean you can immediately move it to the commercial market. It doesn't mean that it's something that somebody's going to want, because there has to be that innovation. And that's where you come in. That's where the small business community comes in. So how do we do that transition? How do we do that transfer? And these programs are a really valuable asset for getting that done. So you've heard from a lot of the agency participants today. You know, you heard from NSF, there was a DOE booth, you heard from a couple different departments within the Department of Defense, you know, you heard from NASA, but as has been mentioned a few times, there's kind of 12 agencies. It's actually 11 agencies, 12 departments. Gets a little confusing. But each one of them focuses on something different, something unique, something that has to kind of fit within their research areas, has to fit what they're doing. As you heard from the DoD program manager, they're really interested in technologies that are going to solve a problem, that are going to help them, you know, carry out their missions, that are going to help them protect warfighters and save lives out there in the theater. Whereas, as you heard from Dr. Ella Mirowowski, NSF is just interested in science. What can you do? What's cutting edge? how can you move the state of science, the state of scientific knowledge, and the state of discovery forward? What is interesting in science and engineering? And someone like USDA is all about food and agriculture. So what can you do for food safety? What can you do for healthy plant growth? What can you do for value-added products? How can you help the small businesses, the small farmers, the medium-sized farmers, those rural communities, and help them grow? So every one of the agencies is going to have a different focus, going to have a different fit, and they're going to want to move forward in a different way. So you have to kind of know that. You have to kind of know their differences. What are those critical differences that we've kind of touched on throughout the day between the agencies? You know, their proposal submission process can vary. As you heard earlier, there's a huge difference between grants and contracts. Some agencies are granting agencies. They're not going to be a customer. They're going to support what you create. They're going to want you to succeed, but they're ultimately not going to buy it. Contracting agencies, though, they buy stuff. They buy solutions. However, as Doug Goodman from NASA said earlier, they're not going to buy a lot of them. You know, typically they might buy 5 or 6 of them. They might buy a couple more, but you're going to have to know, well, where do I go from here? How else do I move forward? At this stage, there's probably a lot of unknowns. There's probably a lot of things that you're going, I have a better grasp on these programs, but man, now I'm even more confused than I was before. How do I move forward? How do I succeed? And ultimately, you probably look like this, you know, that just bewilderment, that sense of, you know, being perplexed or confused, where you go, these seem really great, these seem really valuable, but who can help me? Where can I go? Where can I turn to? Well, the good news is the information you learned here today will start to support that. It'll build that foundation of knowledge, that kind of facet of information for this is where I go, this is how I grow. As John Williams said earlier, one of the biggest supporters of these programs, one of the biggest supporters of you as a small business and trying to move your idea forward are FAST awardees. Not each state, but each state that was successful, there was one FAST awardee in a state. What they do is they help you. They're in that state. They want to help you succeed. They want to help you grow. So the events put on today were by, as we said earlier, NMFAST. We are the FAST awardee for New Mexico. The FAST stands for Federal and State Technology Partnership Program. Our entire purpose is to help small businesses try and seek these opportunities, try and get that information together, try and take that next critical step forward. How do I create a proposal? What's important? What do I cover? What do I need to know about commercialization? So, you know, we put on things like this. We put on these events. And you also probably saw a lot of other really great supporters today. You know, organizations like FLC, the Federal Lab Consortium, are, you know, other state FAST awardees like Wichita State University. You saw and probably met with federal labs, research institutions like Sandia or Lanol that can kind of tell you about this is how we can help you. This is how we can help you succeed. This is where you can take our technologies. This is where you can take that critical next step forward, that critical leap along your pathway and along that pipeline. Because ultimately, everybody that gave you information today, everybody that was a panelist, all of the exhibitors, our goal is so that this doesn't happen. Our entire purpose is to help you get past that valley of death, that big gap between that phase 2 and phase 3, where you go, so I validated this idea. I created this prototype. I know it'll work, but who's interested? Why are they interested? How can I put this in people's hands? How can I commercialize this? How can I put this into the marketplace? Well, again, that's what we're here for. That's why we, put on events like this. That's why, a lot of the FAST awardees and a lot of the other partners here just give you as many resources as we can, give you as much documentation, create videos, create workshops, create webinars, so that we can help you get past these issues, so that we can take that myriad of questions and just that look of perplexion you have and turn it into a look of triumph, a look of success, a look of, I did this, and I know there are partners that can help me move forward. I know there are people that can cut through the swath of questions in my head and show me that pathway, show me that, guiding light almost. Show me where I put my feet so that I continue walking, so that I continue growing, so that I continue pushing the envelope of what my business can be and what my product can be. So there's also other things that, a lot of our partners do, like social media blast, resource libraries, maybe even accelerator programs. Can we help guide you? Can we help you move forward? But that's also kind of only half the game. That's half. Remember I brought out that term earlier, it's half the battle. So this is our half the battle. This is how we help you. This is how we make sure you grow. This is how we make sure that you're walking the correct path. But what's the other half of that battle? Well, the other half of that battle is frankly you. So after the summit today, we're going to make sure that everybody gets all of the slides, all of the information sessions, all of the videos. I'm going to see if people want us to share their contact information. Make sure you know who to reach out to. But from this point, that's kind of part of your job. So let us know what you need and how we can assist you. Remember, we all today that brought you this information, that put on this session or that helped put on this session, we want you to win an award. We want you to succeed. That's frankly why we exist. If we're not helping you move forward, we're kind of not doing our jobs. So how do you do your job? Well, you go out there and you find the resources. We covered a lot of them today. There were a lot of them in those exhibitor booths, a lot of documentation you can download. There is a wealth of tools at your disposal. So find them, consume them, succeed with them, use them up, bleed them dry. Make sure you take all of that critical information and you move forward. Make sure you take all of that critical information and you distill it. Make sure you take all of that critical information and you put together a complete and a compelling proposal package. And you also, talk to program managers. You had great opportunities to talk to Navy program managers this morning. Depending on the agency, you may be locked into only talking to a program manager during a pre-release, or you might have to do something like, a project pitch for NSF before they'll talk to you. But talk to those program managers. They are your cheerleaders. They want you to succeed because they want to use up their money. They want to use up their funding. They want to give back to the innovation ecosystem. They want it to grow. They want it to flourish and prosper. And essentially when you reach out to them, make them crave what you're creating. Give them a reason to fund you. Make them go, oh my God, this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. We have to, give them money. We have to support this. We have to help them grow. In the first panel of the day, you heard from a lot of people about what makes a compelling proposal package. Review that. Go back through that. Those are the people who have been successful. Those are the people who have seen, the proposal packages that are less successful. They pointed out what you do, what you don't do, what you focus on, how you get across that sense that you have the experience, the expertise, and the knowledge to pull this off. Learn from them. Again, consume that resource. Make it yours. Own it and go. And ultimately, you try, and you try again. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and, frankly, neither was it burned in a day. There's going to be a lot of times where you just kind of get fed up and you go, I can't get through this. I can't navigate this. I've tried and I get feedback that says it's not good enough. But always in that feedback is those nuggets of how do you polish it? How do you turn that lump of coal into a diamond? How do you make it shine bright? there's going to be that information. If you need help going through that information, reach out to us, reach out to all of us, reach out to this network across this, flourishing and thriving innovation ecosystem that wants you to grow, that wants you to get there. Because when you win, we win. It shows that we know what we're doing, that we know what we're talking about, that we can be that boon for the small business community. So again, I'd like to thank just kind of each and every one of the people that were here that made this a success. As Dana said this morning, thanking all of our partners, thanking the people that helped us put this great event on. But besides all those audiences that we talked about this morning, there's one other audience I want to thank today for making today a success, and that's you. I want to thank you for attending today. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to, drop in, see a panel, maybe sit here throughout the entire day. Maybe just drop in and talk to one of the program managers that were at the booth. Talk to one of those support organizations that can help you grow. Ultimately, we hope that the event today was engaging and interesting, and that it'll prove fruitful in your SBIR and STTR pursuits. So if you had the chance to connect with any of our exhibitors today, stay in touch with them. Again, they want to help you. They want you to succeed. They want to be those cheerleaders. They can be one of the best resources you have as you move forward with creating or commercializing your innovation. And again, thank you for attending today. So go out there, enjoy the rest of your evening, and then start cracking that whip for yourself. Get to work, tell us again how we can help you, and just start grinding at it, start getting there. Every single step forward you take is a further step along that pathway to success. So thank you again for attending today, and look forward to next year's event.